Okay, we're back with the Dr. Friday Show, and we're in the kitchen, which you guys all know means we're cooking by the numbers. That's right, and today we're going to have a good time. This show has been showing you all across the board how being different, but still taking the same thing. You don't have to reinvent the wheel to be able to build a business or to be successful. In fact, most successful people, are very few of them, are true inventors of a concept. They take something else and they create it. So today, to make an example of that, we're going to have a good time making caramel apples, right? Caramel apples are probably one of the easiest things to ever make. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to come over here and you're going to start your stove, and you're going to basically put in your corn syrup, which you can hardly see because corn syrup is so clear. All right, a little butter. Work with me, butter. There we go. And some sugar. All right, whoa. Getting violent in the kitchen over here, people, violent in the kitchen. All right, so when you're making this or anything else, especially when you're making caramel or candy things, keep in mind that one of the things you're really looking for is that golden look, especially in caramel apples or making caramel. There is a faster way of doing this. Remember that they already have a lot of this made at the store. But since we're doing a cooking show, it seemed pretty logical to kind of make caramel from scratch, just so you can enjoy it. The process of making it. And that's kind of the way I think of entrepreneurship. I think of entrepreneurship the same way. It's the process, and each of us do it completely different, right? I mean, I'm an accountant. I do numbers, I do taxes, I do taxes as an enrolled agent, right? But yet there's over 5,000 enrolled agents in the state of Tennessee. So why would I even think I should go into a business when there's so much competition? I mean, that just seems silly. Yet, I seem to become pretty successful at it. Why? Because I am different than all the rest. My approach and the way I do things is completely different than all the rest. All right, so when you're making this, you're just going to keep stirring this and keep stirring this, and this is going to become golden brown, okay? This mixture is going to become golden brown. Once you've got to that point, you're going to take a whole cup of milk, and you're going to also take, whoops, water's clear, it's hard to tell. We're going to put some water, and the last thing is just a pinch of salt. Okay, so once that's done, you're going to put your candy thermometer. You want this to come up to 260 degrees before you can actually do anything with it. So now we're going to actually move on over to the finished product. And it's really beautiful. It's not really so hard to make. It's just one of those things that takes you a little while to deal with the issue of making it. All right, so I don't make a huge mess working with this, I'm going to actually move this over here just a little bit so we can actually kind of do this. All right, so like with taxes, the first thing you got to figure out, what are you going to do to make yourself unique? Now, for example, someone probably made this to grade cheese, but I have found that it's actually excellent for putting in your stick to your apples. So again, taking something that might have been designed to do one thing and creating it to do something completely different is exactly what today's show is all about. All you want to do, and remember, you want these sticks in there really nice. Now, I suppose you can use any other kind of utensil, but I have found that this is really, really easy. And these are all kinds. I've got all kinds of different apples because one of the things about making yourself different, let's be honest, a caramel apple is what? Caramel and an apple. It's what you do with that caramel apple that's going to make you different. All right, so now, just like you could start out with a small apple, put some caramel on it, and that could be it. That would be the end of the caramel apple. Now myself, since I'm the type of person that doesn't do anything like everybody else, and I will tell you, if I'm actually making these for a big party or something, a lot of times with this, I will actually take something and roughen the outside of the apple. Because caramel is great, but sometimes it doesn't stick to the apple as well as you might like. So first thing you do, all right, so we've got a caramel apple, but let's think about what can make this apple different. Maybe something like me, right? A little different. Well, for one thing, could be just adding a little sprinkle, right? A little something different. All right, so you've got that kind of concept. Are you getting the point? The point is all these apples start out the same. But what makes me different than you, if you're a bookkeeper or a financial person, a tax expert, is the way we handle business and what clients are looking for. Because each of our clients are looking for something different, right? So whatever that different is what it comes down to. Maybe you're softer and you like marshmallows. Now look at that. Isn't that really pretty cool? It's gorgeous. Makes it unique. Everything you do is going to be unique. The nice thing about being different is that you can kind of write your own rules. If you learn anything from Cooking by the Numbers this week, I want you to learn that being an entrepreneur is about taking your gift, your special trip, what makes you you, and turning it into something completely different, completely exciting. And you know, you're sitting there going, well, there's really nothing different about me. I'm just like everybody else. Well, then the first thing you really want to do is figure out what does make you different. Because otherwise, really, all you are is a caramel apple, without a stick, without an apple. No, you're a caramel apple that just has caramel on it, and that may be fine for you. You may be able to build a very successful business without doing anything. But the fact of what I'm trying to say is that each one of us, think about Bill Gates, think about Steve Jobs, think about Donald Trump. Did any of them really invent anything? They took what was in the market and packaged it, right? I mean, Donald Trump wasn't the first real estate person. He just did it differently. That's what I want you to start putting your mind to. When I wrote my book, Be an Entrepreneur, it really was in mind for people like that, for people that basically already had the dream, but they really didn't know how to take it to the next level. And that's what I want you to be able to do. I want you to be able to put the caramel on the apple, then put your special treat on it, right? I want you to be able to be you. What makes you so special? And you're sitting there going, I'm not sure. Well, then that's the first conversation you need to have with yourself. And yes, I said the first conversation you need to have with yourself. Because if you can't convince yourself that you have something unique, it's going to be really hard to convince all of your other people. I guess I'll use Dr. Friday because, well, I'm not sure why. That's not going to work, all right? So just keep in mind, when you're cooking by the numbers, today is all about being different. If you want to know more about who Dr. Friday is, just pick up the phone and call me at 615-367-0819. Thank you for joining me here on the Dr. Friday Show. I hope you had as much fun as I do, and I think you walked away with maybe a few ideas on how to change your life. And this holiday season, make sure you give thanks for all the things that you have. I know I'm a very thankful person for all the people I know and all the things I have been given. And this is the time of the year to just think about those things and maybe to give back sometime throughout this holiday season, some of the goodness that you might have been given, share it with other people. Because you know what? At this time of the year, we all think this is a pretty good time to actually give and to receive some of the blessings that we have. Remember, when you're dealing with taxes and anything else, sometimes you just have to take a risk and take a big bite out of this, which I will do in a moment as soon as I thank you all, and also remind you to go to my website, order my book, Be an Entrepreneur, go to www.drfriday.com and call me at 367-0819.